Hi there and welcome back to Japan. It's the big one. Most Band-Maid fans, you guys have been really great and really supportive behind this whole process. Now, I am going to say that if you haven't already, do check out number 25 to 11 of this top 25 Band-Maid songs list, which is in a video we posted last weekend. And that also introduces you to basically how I've been thinking about this, how I've been scoring it to try and produce a list that I think is even fair and that I can stand behind. But I did love a comment that we got on there which said, picking a favourite Band-Maid song is like picking a favourite child. I think that's very true. So I accept that this is always going to be finicky at this point, but I'm really quite excited to share this list with you guys. I think it's going to have some interesting surprises on there, or some of the songs you're probably going to just think, that's Howard being very predictable. But I think this is a list that we could really say is quite good, not only for fans, but I think, like I say, it also has a wider appeal. I think this is a list that if you were to introduce new people to the band, this would also be a good list to consider. I think that we've nicely managed to balance what fans like, what I think a wider audience would like, and I've thrown in a teeny little bit of personal bias as well. Anyway, main thing is I want you guys to enjoy this, and I really hope that you guys put in your top 10s or top 5s or top 3s or whatever in the comments. I've seen so many of them before, but I want to see more of them now, as well as commenting on my ones. Reason being is because it'd be nice to get a bit of an aggregate of what you guys think and see how far off I was to the general follower opinion. Anyway, without further ado, it's time to get in at number 10. So what does a song need to be in the top 10 Band-Maid songs of all time? It needs to certainly give you a strong feeling, be it adrenaline or something deeper. It needs to be memorable, whether that be due to catchiness or individuality. It needs to be interesting enough to warrant repeat plays, definitely. And finally, it needs to have had that Band-Maid mark stamped all over it, so you really know who you've been listening to. Anyway, as a result, here we go. Number 10. Key. Key is a hard sell at number 10, I fully appreciate. Coming from that first album and Staff Written for the Ladies, it does still, however, manage to so powerfully embody a balance of the band's strongest qualities, featuring an emotional and catchy two-phase chorus, a dark breakdown with a screaming guitar solo, and a range of changes of tone throughout. This is a very memorable track. Psyche also gets a workout, singing a variety of tones from the dark, distorted verses to the hopeful sounding pre-chorus and the anthemic refrain. It's kind of hard not to love this song. So yeah, number 10 is Key. Number 9 is Time. A strangely modest sounding song that punches at the heartstrings with its balance of sweet melodramatic chorus and hopeful verses, all with that rock and roll backing going on throughout. The delicacy of Miku's voice compared to Psyche's gives a vulnerability here, but without coming across underpowered. Time is a great demonstration of how to do a song that works in numerous ways, given that you could just as easily mosh to it as you could sit down with a drink and relax to it quietly. Time is a simple pleasure, but an effective one also, and very deserving of this top 10 spot at number 9. So number 8 is Don't Let Me Down. The highest scoring non-Band-Maid written song on this list, and a real crowd splitter, I know. We can all acknowledge easily the things which maybe don't work for Don't Let Me Down as well. I mean, yeah, it does repeat itself a bit, the lyrics are a tad awkward, but that can all be put to one side. Why? Because this song is so insanely catchy and incredibly energetic. If this track doesn't have you dancing in your chair, you need to go to a doctor to check your pulse. Akane also pulls off some amazing drum work here, blasting a flat-out punk rhythm whilst making use of every inch of the kit. Psyche even gives an extremely passionate sounding performance that goes to show how the band at their best can make a song so much better than it has any right to be. It's a great earworm, masterfully performed. So what comes next? Well, number 7 is Afterlife. This song is a bit of a surprise, I am sure. Whereas most of the songs on Unseen World benefit from their contextual positions on the album, Afterlife is the one song that benefits most from being isolated and heard in its own light. As well, with most of the album, it showcases the ladies playing turned up to 11, with every bit of skill and finesse that they have come to be known for. Afterlife, however, has one hell of a grower of a chorus. During my multiple listen-throughs, I was shocked how this relatively innocuous track, sitting after two similarly toned numbers on Unseen World, was stuck in my head for days. In fact, because I was listening to the album altogether multiple times over, it was stuck in my head before I could even remember which song it was that was stuck in my head. Afterlife is a wonderful showcase of what makes this band so great. All that fantastic Unseen World musicianship with a chorus that really does pay it off and bring it all together. So what's number 6? Well, number 6 is About Us. A love letter to the fans whilst also being a brave experimentation. Under the bonnet, the written parts are not so complex or novel, but this song throws a real emotional gut punch by getting its intricacies from places we're not used to hearing them explore. From beautiful cello to using guitar pedals that make the 6th string almost unrecognisable, this is a sonically playful piece that recognises how delicate sounds can be just as effective as intricate writing. I loved how die-hard fans of the heavy Rockin Maids quickly took to this mid-tempo, high-production loop-implementing song, and that says a lot. It leaves a gorgeous feeling with you at the end that can be like something you can chew on, like the aftertaste from a delicious meal, and that really is a mark of a great song. Alright, so we're getting into the top 5 now, and you're seeing the options starting to disappear. The writing is on the wall, so remember to get in the comments and tell us what you think is coming up each time. I'm going to give you a little bit of a build-up to each one of the songs. Alright, so here we go. Number 5. Rejoice! It's Rockin Me, the Miku classic. With a cheeky swing beat, a roaring hatter performance, backing sounds like electric organ, punk shouts, hand claps, just full-on rock energy. This is a wonder. There's so much going on here that you could almost lose sight of the stunningly catchy chorus that beats out even Don't Let Me Down for earworm stats. The aforementioned swinging tripleted beat also gives the ladies room in the arrangement to implement clever little tricks like the second verse jazz breakdown, and even has Misa and Akane effortlessly tearing through bombastic fills without ever sounding overindulgent. Rockin Me comes across on first listen as a simple rock and roll song, but like any truly great song, it's those details that make it so easy to come back to over and over without the risk of repetitiveness. A masterclass in how to make simple pop rock fun into quality music. This song is great. Number 4. Don't You Tell Me. When we first discussed doing this list around the time that Conqueror was announced, Don't You Tell Me was my de facto number 1. In fact, it stayed that way for a very, very long time. It virtually goes without saying why. This track is pretty much the quintessential Band-Maid sound. Alive with their energy, detail, rebellious spirit, it's an amazing hallmark song. It makes more sense to justify why this track wasn't number 1, in fact. Ultimately, Don't You Tell Me is the perfect song if you are in the mood for it. And it is very much in the Band-Maid style of mood, but I feel the 3 songs ahead can win you over to their way of thinking regardless of your state of mind. Still, Don't You Tell Me is, like, in the right setting, it probably is the best Band-Maid song. But we're looking at a bigger picture here. Number 3. Okay, prepare to get angry, because it is Paige. Yeah, talking of splitting the fans, from the beautiful vocal layering though, to the stunningly delicate instrumentation that is woven into even the pounding choruses, Paige manages to balance those tiny little delicate moments that pluck at your heartstrings with a pounding anthem that will have you singing from the bottom of your lungs. I mean, it's just overflowing with passion. Paige was not only a brave detour for the ladies though, but they put it confidently front and centre on their album, which to me is one of the most Band-Maid things they could have done. Although it may not be that quintessential Band-Maid sound I mentioned before, its very existence is kind of rebellious, and I think this is displayed in how Paige is not half-arsed, it's not timid, they took a deep breath and jumped in. The result is a roaringly heartfelt and infectious song with unbelievable live value, I assure you. Paige also transcends a lot of genres. It encapsulates the best of both pop and rock in that sort of anthemic setting, and I think would have gained a wide following if it had been pushed as a single. I actually keep on thinking of those Bill and Ted films where they're trying to look for the big anthemic song that will unite the world. See, if it had been Paige, I would have 100% bought that. This is a song that I can't imagine anyone genuinely disliking, and I think a lot of people would love, and I think it's a very deserving at number 3. So what's number 2? Maybe a bit of a surprise here, but number 2 is Choose Me. Yeah, not number 1, as I think a lot of people were expecting me to put it. I mean, it's such a great song that its qualities barely need to be stated. Insanely catchy, emotionally intense, and drivingly powerful. Often great songs do sound effortless, and Choose Me sounds that. In fact, so much so that after many casual and intense listens, I was shocked during our live event when someone referred to Choose Me as the song with 2 solos. I'd become so comfortable with it that I had barely registered the fact previously. This is 3.5 minutes that glide by whilst pumping raw rock energy and emotion into you and demanding an immediate replay at the end. Another song slightly wasted by not being released as its own single, but I believe forever embedded in the memories and hearts of anyone who hears it. It's catchy, it's Band-Maid, it's catchy Band-Maid, it's fantastic. Oh, and it rocks. Alright, it's time for the number 1. Now, I've got to be honest with you, this is a song that I didn't expect to be at number 1. Like I say, for a long time I thought it was going to be Don't You Tell Me, and then I reviewed the data, I was thinking about trying not to make it too subjective to my own opinion, but putting a bit of my opinion in to try and drive things along. This is a song that when I first listened to it, it didn't even particularly wow me that much, but it's just one that stably I've never got bored of. Never ever got bored of in all the time I've listened to it. I've also tried to keep it a little bit of a mystery by, I haven't liked it on Spotify, so anyone could see that. I haven't really discussed it too much. I've always kind of avoided discussing this song to a certain degree because I was getting the feeling, I really like this song. More and more I heard it, the more and more I liked it. So I took a little bit of time, thought about it. It came in very high on the scores when I did the live session with you guys where I was scoring them all again. And I just went through its qualities and yeah, it's a really brilliant song. Shocking that. I think maybe partly it might have not hit me so hard because the video, I didn't think the video was that great. Is it Start Over? No, it's not Start Over. It's not Start Over. So it's a song that, like I said, I didn't originally expect to be at number 1, but now it is at number 1. I'm really happy that it's there. It's a great song. You guys ready? I bet there's suggestions coming in on chat right now, isn't there? Well, it's time to find out. Number 1 is Bubble. Yeah. One of the first songs I reviewed by the band and a song that grew on me more than any other. I said before that it's the details that make you come back and repeat listen to a song, and Bubble has so much going on. As catchy as the chorus is, I accept they do have catchier, but Bubble has an infectious sing-along quality in the hook, which is elevated massively by the 3 completely different iterations that it has in the song. First time, it just turns up with a punk blast, goes around and ends. Second time, it repeats over a key and rhythm change in the backing, which makes for a blasting mid-tempo soundscape and perfectly sets up the bridge. The bridge itself goes through a solo, a breakdown, and a punchy little rap bit almost before setting up the last chorus. And then finally, simply put, the last 45 seconds of Bubble somehow lands harder than anything in the rest of their catalogue, and that is saying something. It even introduces a few bars of a one-off earworm melody just to make it all seem so effortless at the end. My only complaint about Bubble is that it isn't a few bars longer. But what it shows is how to make a song build convincingly and powerfully from a cheeky little nonchalant riff that seems to be introducing a carefree pop song into a blasting, blistering end that has you jumping for the replay button as it just has so much power. If the question was which Band-Maid song is the most instantly likeable, yeah, Choose Me maybe even Paige would probably win. Bubble, however, is just an easy to access song that keeps on giving. It represents all of the band's diversity and detail and power and emotion and rock kudos, and that is why it's here. If I was going to be locked in a room for a week with only one Band-Maid song, it's going to be this. It's going to be Bubble. It's a great song. It's my number one. Surprise! Okay, so that was my top 10. I really hope you liked it, and I just want to let you know that you will never catch me alive. I'm out here. So I know lots of people love Moratorium. I know lots of people love Onset, and I just want to let you know that I considered all of the songs equally, and it was just that I decided at the end that Bubble was the best. Okay? Hey, I didn't put Start Over in there. Anyway, so you all have a lovely life, and I need to start burning off my fingerprints, I think. See you all sometime. Oh, wait a second. I've got to do live chat now. Alright. See you on live chat in just a moment. Feel free to leave your comments and put pitchforks in them. Like and subscribe if you wish. Big thank you to all our patrons for keeping the channel alive. Hopefully you'll remain. And until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these, for now, ciao ciao. Thanks for joining.